the principle of Occam's razor that suggests that the simplest explanation is often the most accurate. So what evidence makes you believe that the DMT state is something other than just a hallucination? And is it possible that in the Bible those are just hallucinations as well?
They could be a hallucination, but still, those hallucinations occur in a person under, various influences, both internal and external. And they contain information which the person may or may not want, to relate, which may or may not be harmful or helpful, to the larger community. So in the case of Ezekiel, who somebody said to me one day, "Oh, isn't he schizophrenic?"
Yeah, he's an odd man.
Right, he's a very wild, crazy person. Yeah, just completely out there. So he may have been schizophrenic, but still, he may have also been inspired in his visions by external things. For example, spiritual forces, spiritual influences, things that you can't normally see. Just like any other invisible influence, the weather, gravity, his genes or whatnot. And his character was one that was deeply immersed in the Jewish people. And anything that he experienced was intended to both chastise and provide hope to the Jewish people. You could be schizophrenic and make accurate predictions. You can be schizophrenic and be quite a helpful member of your community. You could be schizophrenic and be, violently, dangerous and need to be restrained or, secluded, for various, times in your life.
Well, that reminds me of the biological basis for the shaman. The shaman was, like in the anthropology from indigenous tribes, they would generally say the shaman was one who had some sort of overwhelming mental crises or a near-death experience in their youth. It was overwhelming to them, and then they had to seek training from a more experienced shaman. And oftentimes, maybe it's a bit facetious, but they were often thought of as like a cured madman. There is parallel, I believe, from those two archetypes of the prophet serving the Jewish community and the shaman serving the indigenous communities. Their spiritual technology would be different, but if we're just looking at the broadest archetype, I think there is a connection there.
Yeah, socially anyway.
Yeah, socially.
They're both experienced it as outcasts. They both live on the edges of the community in general, just because they're feared and misunderstood and confusing and and also I think if you're inclined to those kinds of vocations, you need time to yourself. You need to be left alone. So living on the outskirts of the community suits those kinds of people for those reasons as well.